Have you ever wondered why the polar bear, among all other bears, is called the king of the Arctic? Well, the answer lies in their sheer size, strength, and adaptability to the Arctic's harsh environment. Polar bears, or Ursus maritimus, if we're being scientific, are the largest species of bear on our planet. To put it into perspective, they're almost twice as heavy as the Kodiak bear, which is considered the largest land-dwelling carnivore. An average male polar bear can weigh up to 1,500 pounds and stand as tall as 10 feet when on its hind legs. Unlike the American black bear or the grizzly bear, who are known to be quite shy, polar bears display an unmatched fearlessness. They're not just large, they're strong and robust. Their muscular build, paired with their sharp claws and teeth, make them a force to be reckoned with. Now let's talk about the short-faced bear, an extinct species that roamed the North American terrains over 11,000 years ago. These bears were massive, but even they fall short when compared to the polar bear's strength and size. While the American black bear is an excellent swimmer, the polar bear takes it to another level. They are superb swimmers, capable of swimming for long distances at a stretch. This ability allows them to hunt seals, their primary source of food, and travel across the vast Arctic sea ice. But it's not just about strength and size. Polar bears have adapted impeccably to the Arctic. Their white fur provides camouflage, their fat stores provide insulation, and their wide paws aid in walking on the ice. The habitat of a bear plays a significant role in shaping its characteristics. For instance, the diet of the grizzly bear varies significantly from that of the polar bear, primarily due to the difference in their habitats. While grizzlies feast on a mix of plants and meat, polar bears are almost exclusively carnivorous. So when we talk about the king of the Arctic, we are referring to a formidable predator, adapted to one of the harshest environments on Earth. What makes the polar bear uniquely suited to the harsh Arctic environment? Well, dear listener, it all comes down to a set of phenomenal adaptations these magnificent creatures have developed over millennia. Let's delve into the fascinating world of the Arctic's top predator, the polar bear. Now, the first thing that probably springs to mind when you think of a polar bear is its striking white fur. This is no mere fashion statement. The polar bear's fur is actually transparent and hollow, reflecting light to give that iconic, snowy white appearance. This unique feature serves a dual purpose. It provides excellent camouflage against the snow and ice, and it traps the sun's heat to keep the bear warm in freezing temperatures. Next, let's talk about their feet. Polar bears have large, padded feet that act as natural snowshoes, distributing their body weight and preventing them from sinking into the snow. Their paws are also armed with sharp, non-retractable claws that provide excellent grip on the icy terrain, making them expert climbers despite their size. Now, compared to the Kodiak bear, the American black bear, the short-faced bear, and the grizzly bear, the polar bear stands out for its swimming abilities. These bears are exceptional swimmers, capable of covering long distances in the frigid Arctic waters. They have a layer of blubber up to 4 inches thick that not only keeps them warm, but also aids in buoyancy, while their wide, flat paws serve as effective paddles. These remarkable adaptations are a testament to the resilience of the polar bear, a creature that has evolved to not only survive, but thrive in one of the harshest environments on Earth. It's an impressive feat, especially when you consider that other bears, like the grizzly or the black bear, would not fare well in such extreme conditions. And these adaptations not only allow the polar bear to survive in the Arctic, but also make it a superior predator. The polar bear is an embodiment of the stark beauty and raw survival of the Arctic, a testament to nature's ingenuity in the face of adversity. Have you ever thought about how the polar bear, despite being in such a harsh environment, manages to find its food? Well, it's all down to their exceptional hunting abilities and their inherent aggressiveness. The polar bear, or Ursus maritimus, if we're being scientific, is a masterful hunter. They've honed their hunting techniques over thousands of years to survive in the harsh Arctic environment. They primarily feed on seals, which they catch by patiently waiting near seal-breathing holes in the ice. When an unsuspecting seal pops up for a breath, The polar bear will strike with lightning speed, pulling the seal out of the water using their powerful forelimbs and sharp claws. This technique might seem simple, but it requires a lot of patience and precision. Polar bears will often wait for hours, even days, for the perfect moment to strike. They are strategic hunters, relying on their keen sense of smell that can detect a seal from over a mile away, even if it's beneath a layer of ice. Now, let's talk about the polar bear's aggressiveness. Unlike some bear species that may choose to run or climb a tree when threatened, polar bears are more likely to stand their ground. They are fearless creatures, and they aren't afraid to use their immense strength to defend themselves or their young. They've been known to attack humans without provocation, although such instances are rare. When we compare the polar bear to other bears, like the American black bear or the grizzly bear, there's a clear difference in their hunting techniques and aggressiveness. For instance, grizzly bears are omnivores and will eat a variety of foods, while the polar bear's diet is primarily carnivorous. And while black bears are known to climb trees to escape danger, polar bears will confront it head-on. As we've seen, the polar bear's hunting skills and aggressiveness are unparalleled, making it a true apex predator. These traits, combined with their incredible adaptations to the Arctic environment, make the polar bear one of the most formidable hunters on the planet. Ever wondered why bears vary so much in size, diet, and behavior? It's all down to a fascinating interplay of factors revolving around size, diet, and habitat. Let's delve deeper into this wonder of nature. First, size. A bear's size is primarily dependent on genetics, but it's also significantly influenced by the availability of food and overall health. For instance, the polar bear, the largest species of bear, has evolved to be a giant due to its high-fat diet of seals. The abundance of this food source in the Arctic environment has contributed to their immense size. Next up, diet. A bear's diet is largely determined by what's available in their habitat. Polar bears have adapted to a diet rich in fat, thanks to the abundant seal population in the Arctic. On the other hand, the American black bear, residing in woodland areas, munches on a mix of fruits, nuts, insects, and sometimes fish. You see, it's all about making the most of what Mother Nature has to offer. Now, let's talk habitat. The environment a bear calls home shapes its behavior and characteristics in remarkable ways. Take the polar bear, for example. Living in the harsh Arctic conditions, it has developed a thick layer of blubber for insulation and large paddle-like paws for efficient swimming. In contrast, the Kodiak bear, a resident of the temperate rainforests of the Kodiak archipelago, has evolved to be an expert climber with long claws and muscular shoulders. Interestingly, a bear's behavior is also influenced by these factors. The polar bear's aggressive nature, for instance, could be attributed to the scarcity of food in the Arctic and the need to defend its catch against other predators. Meanwhile, the American black bear is generally more docile, possibly due to the diversity and abundance of food in its habitat. So, whether it's the size, diet, or habitat, every aspect plays a crucial role in shaping the characteristics and behaviors of these fascinating creatures, especially the polar bear. As we've seen, the polar bear is indeed a formidable predator. But what does this mean for the Arctic ecosystem? In the icy wilderness of the Arctic, the polar bear reigns supreme, not just as a symbol of raw strength and power, but also as a critical component of the ecosystem. From the smallest plankton to the largest whales, the Arctic ecosystem is a finely tuned machine, and the polar bear, in its role as apex predator, is a vital cog in that machine. Polar bears regulate the population of their primary prey, seals. Without the predatory influence of the polar bears, seal populations could explode, leading to overgrazing of fish and other marine life. This could trigger a cascading effect, disrupting the balance of the entire Arctic ecosystem. But the polar bear's role extends beyond just population control. Their hunting activities also contribute to nutrient distribution. When a polar bear makes a kill, it often eats only the most nutritious parts of the seal, leaving the remainder for scavengers like Arctic foxes and seabirds. In this way, the polar bear helps to distribute nutrients throughout the ecosystem. However, this intricate balance is under threat. Climate change is rapidly shrinking the polar bears' icy hunting grounds, making it harder for them to find and catch seals. The receding ice also forces polar bears to swim longer distances, burning valuable energy reserves. If this trend continues, it could spell disaster not just for the polar bear, but for the entire Arctic ecosystem. The survival of the polar bear is a bellwether for the health of the Arctic. Their struggles are a stark reminder of the far-reaching effects of climate change. If the king of the Arctic is in trouble, what does that say about the kingdom it rules? Indeed, the polar bear's survival is not just about the survival of a species. It's about the health of an entire ecosystem. So next time you think about the King of the Arctic, remember, it's not just a title, it's a responsibility.